The observation deck of the Meridian outpost had never been so crowded. Representatives from 7 different species pressed against the reinforced glass, their various appendages, tentacles, and sensory organs aimed at the training grounds below. What they witnessed defied every protocol, every safety regulation, and every instinct they possessed. Sergeant Alina Dross stood in the center of the enclosure, utterly relaxed, while a creature that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia circled her boots. "This is madness," chittered Ambassador Velkoth, his mandibles clicking in distress. The insectoid diplomat had seen Dravik's predators tear through reinforced battle armor. He had watched entire platoons fall to a single adult. And now a human, soft, fragile, impossibly delicate, was playing with one. Rick. The Dravik's cub was already the size of a Terran wolf, all rippling muscle beneath midnight black scales that caught the artificial sunlight like oil on water. His eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle on his broad skull, glowed with predatory intelligence. Rows of crystalline teeth lined his jaws, each capable of punching through starship hull plating. He crouched low, hindquarters raised, tail whipping back and forth. Every species in the observation deck recognized the stance. "Attack position. Someone stop this," wheezed the Glorvan medical officer, his breathing apparatus fogging with anxiety. The human doesn't understand what she's dealing with. But Alina understood perfectly. She grinned, her dark eyes sparkling with mischief, and took a step backward. An invitation. Rick exploded forward. The spectators gasped, screamed, and in one case fainted. The cub moved like liquid death, closing the distance in a heartbeat. He leapt, all 4 limbs extended, claws gleaming, aimed directly at Alina's legs. She caught him mid-air. Her hands found purchase beneath his front legs, and instead of bracing against his weight, she used his momentum. She spun, lifting the cub high, his powerful body rotating through the air in a wide arc. Alina's laughter rang out across the training ground, pure, unrestrained joy. Rick's predatory snarl transformed into something the observers had never heard from a Dravik's before. A sound that could only be described as delighted chirping. "Impossible," breathed Captain Gendar of the Krillian fleet. His scales had shifted to the pale blue of shock. "Dravik's don't..." "They don't play, but they did. At least Rick did." As Alina set him down, the cub immediately crouched again, his 3 eyes fixed on her, that strange chirping sound rumbling from his chest. His tail swept side to side in wide, excited arcs. "Again?" Alina asked, her voice carrying that distinctive human warmth that so many species found unsettling. She dropped into a ready stance, her military training evident in the fluidity of her movement. "Come on then, you little terror. Show me what you've got." Rick charged again, and again Alina met him with perfect timing. This time she dropped low, letting him sail over her shoulder, guiding his trajectory so he landed softly on the padded ground. She rolled with him, and suddenly human and predator were tumbling together, Rick's chirps mixing with Alina's laughter. "She's going to be killed," Velkoth insisted, though his voice had lost some of its certainty. "Those claws, those teeth, one mistake and—" "Look closer," interrupted Dr. Sarah Chen, the human xenobiologist standing calmly among the panicking aliens. "Look at his claws." They looked. Rick's claws, each one capable of rending metal, were carefully retracted. When his jaws opened near Alina's arm, his teeth never made contact. When his tail whipped around, it curved away from her body at the last instant. "He's holding back," Chen explained, adjusting her glasses. "Dravik's cubs learn bite inhibition from their mothers. Rick has transferred that behavior to Sergeant Dross. To him, she is family." "But humans are prey species," Gendar protested weakly. "Your reaction times, your durability, you're not apex predators." "How does she—" "That's where you're wrong," Chen said softly. "We're not apex predators. We're persistence predators. We don't have to be the strongest or the fastest. We just have to be smart enough, patient enough, and crazy enough to bond with things that should terrify us." In the enclosure below, Alina had produced a length of synthetic rope. She swung it in wide circles, and Rick pounced, catching it in his jaws. She pulled. He pulled back, and they engaged in a contest of strength that the human had no hope of winning. Yet Rick moderated his force, allowing the game to continue, his 3 eyes bright with what could only be happiness. "When we found Rick's nest destroyed, his mother killed by raiders, he was dying," Chen continued. "Starving, injured, terrified. Standard protocol said to euthanize him. Too dangerous to raise, impossible to domesticate. But Alina, she smiled. Alina saw a scared child. She sat with him for 3 days straight, speaking softly, offering food, asking nothing in return. She treated him like what he was, a baby who had lost everything. And he bonded with her. Velkoth said slowly, his mandibles still but his tone thoughtful now. More than that, he trusts her. Completely, absolutely, that's the human gift, Ambassador. We don't dominate through strength. We build bridges through empathy. We offer friendship to the universe even when the universe has fangs. Below, Alina had collapsed onto her back, breathing hard from exertion, her face flushed. Rick curled up beside her, his massive head resting on her chest, that strange chirping purr vibrating through both their bodies. She scratched behind the ridge of his skull where his scales were still soft, and one of his hind legs kicked involuntarily. A Dravix predator, reduced to a puppy by a human's touch. The galaxy thinks we're weak, Chen said quietly. They see our soft skin, our slow speed, our lack of natural weapons. They think we survived by luck, but they don't understand what makes us truly dangerous. And what's that? Asked Gendar. Chen looked at him and her smile was equal parts warm and terrifying. We make friends with monsters, and then the monsters love us back. In the enclosure, Sergeant Alina Dross sat up, gave Rick one final pat, and stood. The cub rose with her, pressing against her leg, and together they walked toward the facility entrance. The human and the predator moving as one. The observation deck remained silent for a long moment. Then slowly, Velkoth's mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. Humans, he said, and the word carried something new. Not fear, not confusion, but a dawning respect tinged with wonder. Of course they befriend the apex predators. Why would they do anything else? As the crowd dispersed, each alien carried with them a new understanding. Humanity's strength wasn't in their weapons or their ships. It was in their absolute, terrifying, wonderful refusal to see anything as entirely beyond redemption. In a universe of predators and prey, humans had chosen a third path. They chose family.